I have been here to entertain you on television for the past 12 years, guiding you all through the highs and lows, the triumphs and the setbacks. It's time to talk about something I've been thinking about. I can't help but feel emotional as I take this time to think, but I won't take up too much of your time because I made a self-promise not to let this affect me. Regardless of how difficult or uncomfortable it may be, I must speak my mind, and I am doing it now because it is my truth. Journey, good morning. Can you realize that she is now almost 3 years old? Time has passed, and despite everything that has changed in my life, she is the one constant that never fails to remind me of how beautiful my life is. Kelvin, good morning. I have a lot to say, but I'll be honest with everyone. The reality is unavoidable, and I must accept it. It's impossible for me to overlook the enormous contributions made by some individuals when I reflect on my experience in the field. Particularly noteworthy is Kelvin Hunter. He used to be the only one who could bring enthusiasm, charisma, and energy to the table. When people turned in to watch, they knew what to anticipate, and it wasn't just me. We had the support of the entire team. There is no denying that we were a formidable force. However, I have to be honest since many people believe they know what's happening in my life, but they don't. I'm referring to Sharina Hudson, who has been attempting to convince people that Wendy Williams was somehow to blame for her difficulties. Let me clarify. No one, and I mean asterisk, nobody asterisk, will ever bring the same energy, charisma, expertise, talent, or whatever other word you want to use to describe the magic that was created when Kevin, Wendy, and the team came together. I'm not sure if she believes that because it makes her feel better or if she's just trying to get a seat at the table. Yes, I did say that. The truth is the truth, even if I know Sharina probably wasn't prepared for me to reveal that information. The truth is that people like Sharina Hudson have been struggling to maintain the lifestyle they formerly led, the lifestyle that was based on Wendy Williams' success, hard work, and reign as queen of gossip, ever since she was sidelined by health problems. Let me remind everyone that Wendy created her empire, not Kevin and Sharina, who are only following in her footsteps. As everyone is aware, Wendy has had to withdraw from the spotlight in recent years because of her health issues. It has been difficult for those of us who have been lucky enough to witness her ascent to the top, and it has been an uphill battle for her both emotionally and physically. Wendy Williams used to be the unquestioned queen of daytime discussion, but people forget. Millions of households were filled with entertainment, gossip, and drama because to her, it was impossible to ignore her presence. However, the wheels began to come off when Wendy had to prioritize her health following years of arduous work and sacrifice. It's not only difficult, it's tragic for someone who has been the face of a show for so long to abruptly leave and have to cope with health issues in secret. The people who were closest to her during her ascent to fame, Kevin and Sharina, are the only ones who are aware of it. Given their close relationship with Wendy, you would think they would be aware of the extent of her struggle, wouldn't they? False. Let's discuss Sharina Hudson, the unspoken issue. Kevin had an affair with Sharina in public while Wendy was at her best. The public backlash from the incident shook the media landscape and dominated conversations for years. While Wendy was unaware of the treachery taking place right in front of her, Sharina was no stranger to the spotlight, particularly after it was discovered that she had been Kevin's mistress for years. However, because Wendy's health has deteriorated, Sharina is attempting to place the responsibility on Wendy, saying that Wendy is to blame for her difficulties. To be clear, this is merely an attempt to change the course of history. Kevin and Sharina were able to enjoy a luxury lifestyle because of Wendy's success, but now that she is having difficulties, they are attempting to disassociate themselves from the problem and make it appear as though they were responsible for Wendy's demise. Sharina seems to be attempting to put some distance between herself and the person who enabled her way of life. Not to be overlooked are the alimony payments, which were substantial. For many years, Wendy's diligent efforts gave Kevin and Sharina the financial stability they required to lead a lavish lifestyle. And the reality of their difficulties became apparent when those checks ceased to arrive. Their opulent way of life started to fall apart, and they had to accept that things would no longer be the same. The stories that have been going around regarding their relationship are even more startling. It seems that Sharina and Kevin's bond isn't as strong as they initially stated. According to certain sources, their relationship is in ruins, and they currently live apart. The love narrative they attempted to offer the public is far different from this. As it happens, their relationship's core basis, infidelity and secrecy, wasn't resilient enough to handle the demands of the outside world. It's understandable why Sharina and Kevin are frantically trying to keep up the appearance of a flawless relationship. However, the truth is that everything is collapsing. When Sharina and Kevin first started dating, she may have believed she was receiving the happily ever after. But now that Wendy is no longer involved and their financial circumstances have changed, she is beginning to realize that the life she believed she was entitled to may be slipping away. Let's return to 2010, when the drama first became more intense. Kevin made a choice that would ultimately alter their lives because he was angry with Wendy for allegedly interfering in his relationship with Sharina. It wasn't merely a private matter, it was made public. After the affair was made public, it quickly became evident that Wendy had been the victim of a deeply hurtful betrayal. Naturally, there was another reason Kevin had been upset. He believed Wendy was attempting to connect his lover with one of his friends. Is that even possible? The treachery was so profound that Kevin was unable to recognize the harm he was causing to his job and family. The broader picture, however, is evident. Sharina and Kevin, who previously believed they could continue to ride Wendy's coattails, are now left to face the consequences. In reality, Sharina has been complicit in this whole situation, despite her attempts to portray herself as a victim of circumstance. She made decisions that ultimately destroyed a profession, a family, and a brand that had been developed over many years. Even though Wendy Williams is currently not in the public eye, she is still very much alive. She is defined by her legacy, her influence, and her capacity to overcome hardship. It's crucial to keep in mind that she is the media queen, despite the fact that many individuals are working to undermine her. Furthermore, Wendy's contributions to the media industry will always be there, regardless of how much Sharina and Kevin try to change the past. Sharina, on the other hand, might wish to reconsider her strategy. It is not the way to redemption to try to defeat Wendy while she is battling her own issues. Since it's obvious that the tables have turned and the repercussions of their actions are now being felt, she could want to concentrate on her own predicament and attempt to repair her life and reputation. The tale of Wendy, Kevin, and Sharina is ultimately more complex than a tale of scandal and treachery. It serves as a warning about the perils of living in the shadow of someone else's success and the agonizing cost of destroying the person who was instrumental in the establishment of your empire. Those who believe they could prosper at Wendy's expense will soon realize that no one ever really succeeds by trampling on others as she continues to recover and concentrate on her own path.